like there's a lot of things that don't really last.
Yeah.
So even though it is sweet for a second, like it has to come to an end.
Yeah.
You know, like
But just
your
live
high
that
comes
moment,
down.
right?
You finish whatever you're doing.
You finish tripping balls.
You finish tripping balls. Yeah, you're done. You're done.
Shit.
It kind of goes away. So it's like that bittersweet feeling where you're just like, all right. And then in the end,
You buy more.
you buy more. There you go.
That's
It's
why
just
you
like
keep getting faded.
Yeah.
There you go, huh? There it is.
pretty much.
So like we've said like many times before, it's been a year. The sound's evolved. Pretty much just want to know like what you guys have been up to up until this point. It's just like, you know, since the last time we recorded you guys, a lot of comments, I hope from friends and shit like that. But we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
At what point during the year did you guys decide to move on to like this kind of more rhythmic, you know, sound? Because I know that the last time you guys recorded, it was a lot different. It was more different than before, and I think what is that song? It's either Indica and Outspoken were like I guess the two that I guess like
Stood out.
yeah stood out, but
Fucking
more
awesome.
like that was the type of sound that you guys you know went after.
Oh, I get you.
Yeah, like
yeah.
you guys didn't you guys what was it, the dance song and the first song, I think, like, you know, those are kind of, you know, different,
Right.
but those two, Indica and
Outspoken.
Outspoken, were the ones that you guys, you know, kind of just took and evolved with more different songs and stuff. So at what point did you guys decide, you know, to move on to that kind of sound?
Oh, well, how can I say this? Since I guess we just call ourselves indie psychedelic because we gotta fall. We in a sense have to fall under a certain category because you know they're gonna be like, what kind of band are you? We're not gonna be like, we're whatever we want to be. No, like we gotta tell somebody like, oh, okay, we're indie psychedelics, and they'll be like, all right, whatever, right? But we all have that kind of idea where we don't want to sound.
I'd like to have like our own sound. You know? We don't want to sound like anyone else. But
in a sense,
so like not generic.
yeah,
Yeah.
we like
that's
to
one
be
thing.
whatever we want to be. We kind of just get influence from everything. As you can see, we all have very different influences. We have a metalhead as a guitarist. So
Guitarist?
I'm sorry. As a drummer, so I think that our influences kind of, in a sense, we haven't really changed what we're going for. We're more just on another part, or we're on a different influence or something, because we still play our old songs and we still use them, and you know they're gonna be part of our sound and all, but we don't want to stay constant, you know.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right,
I kind of always say that we're multi-genre because we get our influences from everywhere. You know, just how, like, let's say a guitar riff, he can get it from Jimi Hendrix, and like, let's say a drum beat, he can get it from Metallica. Like lyrics, I can get from La Dispute or from Signs of the Swarm. They're very contrasting bands, but they all influence what we make now.
You just find the
Nice.
way it works.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice. And since then, have you guys recorded professionally or even like have little demos out there somewhere?
We tried, man.
Tried?
We tried.
What's the stories behind that?
We lack the funds for the most part.
Oh, okay.
We just, you know, he just started working. I just started working.
I've been out of work because I got into a motorcycle
Another
accident.
accident.
Another one.
Another
Another
one. Hey, but I'm alive, okay?
The question
There
is,
it
did
is,
you learn your lesson with the motorcycle or no?
No, I actually bought another one, and I'm gonna fix that one
Nice.
Nice. All
I'll take
right.
it.
up. Nah, I have to.
Gotta keep it going.
I gotta break the other one and make the other one into a titanium rod.
Right.
Because I have a titanium rod inside my leg that goes from my
Yeah.
knee all the way up to the top of my head.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
Now
He's
the next
Bionic
one
Man
is
now.
next.
No,
Bro.
Damn it, man.
$6 million man.
6 million peso, dude.
Next,
There you go, right?
next thing you know, I'm gonna be a fucking kaiju from
This
Pacific
guy over
Rim.
here.
Nice.
So,
Alrighty.
but
yeah, so what's the story behind the recording? Just like,
I mean,
Like-
we just fucking go off. Like, we don't stay on task. We would smoke a lot.
That
like,
too.
is it just that you guys recorded you guys yourselves, or do you like at least go to like some kind of friend that will hook you
Our
guys
friend,
up?
Tochi.
Yeah, friend.
Yeah.
Tochli.
Okay.
Shout out to
Atlaka
Tochli.
Tochli.
Follow him on
Atlaka
Instagram.
Tochli. That's his name.
All right. Dutchley?
Dope, I love him. I
What
love
was
you.
it? Atlaka
Atlaka Tochli. I love you.
Atlaka
I love you.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dutchley.
Well, the
Tochli.
full name is Atlaka Setochli. You know, but we just call him Tochli. 'Cause
What
he-
you said.
Yeah.
What you said.
There you go.
What was it? I want to ask like your guys' writing style. You know, behind that, how's that go?
How's it
Because, like,
changed?
yeah.
How's it, still stay the same? That kind of shit.
Let's see,
Shit.
for Sugar High, what do you think for Sugar High?
Well, the way I do my songs,
Yeah.
I kind of think of the song first, and that'll
Mhm.
give me an idea of how I want the lyrics to go. Because for the most part, I kind of have an idea of a song, and then I'll tell these guys, okay, let's do it. And then, since I already know how I want the song to go, then I can fit the lyrics in like however I like them, right? But I noticed that he kind of just writes beforehand. So he'll write it, and that's how he will get his lyrics. You know, he'll have kind of like a free verse, open way of doing it, whilst I follow my song.
Yeah, like, let's say the other day, like, I have lyrics written. I just went to Santa Monica. I sat on the bench, like, right in front of the beach. And as I was staring at it, I just pulled out my phone and like, started typing a whole bunch of stuff. And I just have it there. Like, they're just basically lyrics made, and they're up for whatever we want to make it into.
And then, does everyone else contribute, or is it just like you two? Like,
Oh yeah, definitely. Sugar High wouldn't have been possible without coming in at him. Honestly, like, what I love about having such talented musicians with us is that
yes.
honestly they've helped me out. They've helped all of us. So like, Sugar High wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be able to have made Devils Mistress without these guys. So definitely they contribute a lot.
Was there a difference between how you guys? Sorry to the old ones.
Yeah.
But was it a huge difference in, like, contributing how it is now than what it was before, or is it like, almost the same? Not saying that you guys don't, do it as much.
Right.
I really
But
don't.
like, sorry to offend you. But is it that, like, there's a totally different feel to it, that you guys are able to more contribute more into the pot than how you guys were able to before?
Definitely yes.
Talk about the knowledge.
Mostly because they have more knowledge. Not to say that our old bassist was bad in any way. He was
Yes.
good, but he wouldn't exactly create his own music.
Yeah.
How can I say? He wouldn't,
Yeah, because Jesse wrote like all the bass lines and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like I
so-
just kind of like
So he kind
freestyle
of just
off
like
it.
followed after. kinda
Yes,
thing.
exactly.
Okay.
So now we have these guys actually like, oh, what if we do this? Or what
Yeah.
if we do that? Let's add this, let's add that. His amp is amazing because it has a whole bunch of sounds. So
Yeah.
we include more sounds. We plan on getting a MIDI too. So definitely going to get
Nice.
more sounds in there, even
Yeah.
more sounds. So.
So or at least like the workload is lessened
Yes.
since now that
Oh,
everyone
yeah.
is
Uh-huh.
around. Yeah.
Yes.
What kind of new equipment have you guys had? Have you had a Line 6 since the last time, or is that new?
This is new. I've
That's
never
new,
had
right?
my own app.
Wow.
I plan on buying this.
Yeah.
But I've been
Nice.
using this as of late. So
Yeah. Any new equipment around you guys? Just
I actually bought a new mixer. This is a Yamaha MG 10XU, and this is honestly like a really, really good mixer. It was able to add so many more effects to the songs that we have now. And we're able, for the Devil's Mistress, how it has that whole echoey intro. And that's kind of, especially like in the echo in the beginning of the Devil's Mistress, that's kind of like the doctor's voice resonating in my head once I'm already home.
right.
And that's kind of what I would hear all the time. It looks like you're going to heal just fine. And all that kind of just stays in my head. And whenever, I kind of freak out a little, I'm kind of like, I'm just going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. And that kind of helps me a little.
Nice. Shout out to Yamaha.
yes.
Shout out to Yamaha, especially the
let's see.
motorcycles.
I noticed that you guys aren't using too much, or at least you guys use the onboard effects, but not the like offboard, or at least like physical
pedals.
pedals
Yeah.
and stuff. Do you guys have some kind of thing against that, or is it just
Nah,
it's a lot
again,
easier?
Lack of funds.
Yeah,
'Cause
like
if
a
I
there you go,
if I had a lot of money, I would have had a pedal
fucking
board.
cry,
Which
fucking
and
walk.
it kind of goes into my
all
next
kinds of stuff.
question. What was it? like starting off, you know, you guys have obviously like changed a lot, right? What advice would you have to give bands out there that will probably be in your position or are in your position, you know, and you know, funding or timing or you know, what's it called, even producing what's it called, content,
Right.
like
Well,
Keep going.
if I could give bands any tips, damn, I would just say make do with what you've got, because honestly, like if you want to get people's attention and if you want to, I don't know, really make it, then really go for your best, really put on a show with what you've got, even if you don't have too much, just because even if you can't exactly get the sound you have yet, people will see that you have that drive, or people will see that you have that confidence.
Potential.
And potential, exactly. So I would just say make do with what you've got, and if you can keep improving, then do it, because there's always room for improvement.
yeah.
One tip that I do have is always try to spend your money on new equipment. I know getting lit is really cool. Smoking weed is like amazing. I personally love it so much.
Same.
But like I would much rather I would much rather have like a new mixer, a new mic, something that would make us look a little bit more professional than the other bands. You know, because when you're barely starting out, you kind of start off with what you can scrap with. And if you can save up a little bit of money, really truly save that money up for what'll be beneficial in the long run rather than at the moment.
Yeah, I just bought this bass like a couple days ago. Yeah, because I needed it.
Last Friday.
Nice.
Yeah.
For you guys.
There it is, right?
Oh,
Dang.
That's
oh
sweet.
man,
That's
Love
sweet.
it.
There you go, right?
Give me a sticker.
This is for you. Let me get a sticker.
Oh wow, the sticker's still here.
Oh yeah.
As far as also getting shows, how's that? You know,
How's that working out?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Honestly.
Well, right now, honestly, we
Is it-
just had a few shows. They were pretty awesome. We just played here like 3 days ago. It was really cool. But you know, I don't think the video will be out by then. But we're also playing a festival at CSUN. It's called Soul Fest, and it's gonna be really cool. It's April 7th. But again, like video might not be out by then, but that's upcoming, and we're really excited for that. Really
Definitely.
excited.
And I don't know.
sorry you guys missed out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought he was pointing over here. I was like,
no.
who's he talking to? No, but definitely, I think that even though like we're not getting onto shows that have like super big crowds,
Yeah.
I have noticed, and no way to sound cocky or anything like that, I have noticed that we pull a good crowd. We the little people that are there, we catch their attention. As a matter of fact, the last show, person who booked us was like, "Hey, after you guys are done packing up, come and talk to me." And we're like, "All right." So we go and talk to him, and he said something about, "You guys were amazing. I want to get you guys for more shows." So I'm really happy with the outcomes and people's reactions to
Has
us.
anyone see you on YouTube?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've actually uploaded our own videos of when we played live at the Grand Palace. That was really awesome. We had an enormous crowd, and they were all going crazy. They were all dancing. You know, I've noticed that over time we have been getting a much bigger crowd.
Yeah.
And hopefully, if any bands out there, hint hint, want to book us, we'll bring in a crowd. We'll bring in a crowd.
Do you notice that is it like a kind of like who knows who kind of thing when it comes down
Yeah.
to like performing and getting shows? Is it harder or is
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
like
it
how
is. You
how does
kinda-
it how does it look at you guys, like for you guys starting off or you guys, you know, still trying to get out there? What's the struggle in that?
I think connections. We really had to make those connections and give people, other bands especially, good impressions. We tried our best to give people our good impressions. We always try to give a good stage performance,
Yeah.
especially to the crowd. We always like, you know, hey guys, come up front, listen to our music, this and that. We say our name a lot, so you know, we're really trying to get, if anything, just more exposure and really trying to get other bands to see us,
Mhm.
because it really is important to have those connections. Like I don't know if we
Yeah.
knew any of the big bands and we were really cool with them. I'm pretty sure it would be a lot easier.
Do you think it's fair, or do you think that like it's like you guys are being left behind? Like, how do you guys feel about that?
I think it's definitely fair, just because we can't just. People can't be nice to us, People can't just be like, oh, okay, fine, then let's get you on. Like, no, we have to give ourselves a name. People have to be like, oh, the Spookidelics, yeah, let's get them, Not just like, oh, who's this band, whatever.
Basically, like, prove ourselves that our quality of sound is good enough to be able to play with them, because they already have a status.
Yeah.
So we need to get ourselves up there,
And
we all have the same opportunity to get there. It's just how we execute it.
And the last one I have is what is it? From there, what you were saying that like you had to make a name for yourself and stuff like that. Do you recommend bands actually like producing producing their music, like making their music and their sound and focusing in that, or would you rather them just make a couple songs or perform? Like, how would you suggest that they work about that starting off?
Based on what we do, you gotta like your own music before you can show it to anyone else. We like our own songs. Like, regardless of what other people might think of our songs, we're all into our songs. We like our songs. Like, we're all up here grooving, and we all like what we play. We all contribute to it. So, that's what like your music before you put it out there.
Okay.
That was a big mistake that we did before. And if anything, also record your music so that when people do hear you live and they like you, you can be like, oh, here's a CD. And that's what we need to do. That's our goal right now, actually, to record a CD so we can do that.
Nice. This is a question for the new members. Any of you played in a different, like in a other band before this one, or is this pretty much like your first time exposure kind of thing?
Yeah, me and my brother used to play in a band called Psychedelic Brooms.
Got him.
Got it. Yeah, it was a while ago. I don't know.
Yeah, I was guitar. We were both guitarists. We were both guitarists for the band. We had a different drummer at the time, and from there, some drama brewed up, and I decided to leave. Once I decided to leave, everyone else kind of was like, oh, let's set sail on our own too, or some I don't know. But then, then I started hanging out with this guy, because he was my neighbor. And
He
is my neighbor. And so, from there I just kept jamming with him, and I wasn't really in a band. I was trying to get in another band. And then one day I went to the show where fucking Burial View was. And
Shout out to Aerial View.
Shout out to Aerial View.
Really
But I can't forget that night. I fucking can't forget it. Like, how the fuck am I gonna forget? A lot of shit happened.
Which one you can't forget?
What?
Which one you can't forget?
The night that I came.
Oh, I thought you were talking about a member. Never mind.
Oh no, remember?
He wanted
You're
to
just burning them out right now.
Oh, my bad.
No. It's because that same night,
Delete that.
when I went to that show, that's when they asked me to join them as a bass player, and I was like, fuck it, I want to be in a band again, so let's do it, let's get it. And then it was just the whole fucking journey, fucking different other members that came, and fucking a lot of stuff happened. It was so much fun, but we're here now with us.
And now he's proud to be a spook.
Yes, I am.
Nice.
It was awesome. It is awesome.
What? I love that.
At any point during the year, did you guys ever decide to change your name, or is Spookidelics just like a household name now?
Yes,
You guys just identify. It's probably just better than.
we identify as the Spooky Squad. No, but for honestly, a lot of people actually really like our name. I love our name. I
Mhm.
think our name is awesome.
That's why I stayed.
Yeah. People were like, "What's you guys' name?" We're like, Spookidelics. They're like, "Nice name," and we're just like, "Yeah."
Oh, nice. And it's very catchy too. How could you forget something spooky?
I guess, it is catchy. And then, how much better prepared are you guys now compared to the last time we recorded?
Highly.
I would say, if anything, we were less prepared this time.
No, I'm just
but,
kidding.
but I mean, that just goes to show that these guys can hold it together.
Yeah.
We it was pretty sudden, to do this interview because we're just like, hey, 26, and we're like down.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
So
But you guys got it down. You guys pulled through. That's pretty cool. So about earlier with this whole like comments shit. I don't know. I don't know what kind of questions to ask, but like, you know, just how much have you guys improved since then, kind of thing.
Well, I think we've improved greatly.
Yeah.
Greatly, especially since each member, as we said, now gives their own contribution. We kind of feel a little bit more connected. You know, I hang out with them all the time, especially as a band. It's more important to connect outside of the band, because once you're in and practicing, you have that connection. You have that, like, this is my dude, and you just feel a little bit more in sync.
Yeah, we're like a family.
Have
In
you
a
guys
safe
ever read
zone.
the comments? Just asking.
What's that?
Before we get into the other stuff, have you guys read the comments?
I have.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man.
What they say.
Huh?
Uh-huh.
What they
Yeah, pull this out right here.
Now I just don't know if I should.
Yeah, right. Hang on, I'll pull them out right now. I'm just kidding.
Okay,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
prepare for the worst.
For the new, wait, who's the one that watched the video?
Oh, I have.
Okay then. You two, how do you guys feel like this band has improved? Since you guys are new, you know, you guys are coming out as outsiders. You've seen the old videos before, you know, side by side now.
What do you think?
Well, it's a trip because when you're watching the video, you're just watching them perform. But now that I'm actually like with them, it's a whole different level. Like I can feel out the music, I can be in sync with them, and it's like it feels amazing, you know. Ever since 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 I watched the video, I would say that we have really stayed in sync with each other. We really like listen out and hear each other out while we're playing. So that's like something that's key to our music. Like we have to feel each other out and be there, you know, be present.
I feel like they're doing better because I'm here.
Yeah. You ready for those comments?
Let's see it.
Over a year, right? Let's see. The band sounds dope. Replace the vocalist and you guys can sound better. This was written by a Mr. John Foot Penis. Let's see. I love the Spookidelics. That was from Jesse Vargas. You guys know him from the Lucy's.
Oh, that guy's dope. I love that
Jesse.
guy.
Let's see.
Shout out
Wait,
to
is this a type of singing? By Kevin Serratos.
It is.
Let's see. The bass player is sick. Same guy. What you got? Change the
Thank you, thank you.
vocalist. Same guy. Change the singer or whatever the hell he's doing. LOL. Same guy.
Same guy.
Let's see.
Oh, wow.
The
You got a
vocalist
hater out
is so fucking cringy.
Fuck that guy.
What you got? Jesse Morales. Preach that shit, Juice. By Jane Porter.
There we go.
Oh shit.
There it is, Ryan.
They want to purge me out.
Yeah, seriously. You know, it's
Don't
funny.
even
I
worry
woke
about
up
it.
every morning to seeing those comments. I'm like, dude.
okay.
Don't even
All
worry
right.
about it.
In that
But-
case,
I'll try to
But,
make it even cringier just for him.
No,
Alright.
don't
Sick.
do it. You guys,
Yeah.
this is a new sound. I'm in love with it, actually.
Thank
You know what? I'm in love with it.
Oh.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you.
you know, it'd be such a joy to listen to those old songs again. Just kind of, you know, see how much you guys like, you know, with the addition of everyone else in here, just to see how that sound has expanded or improved and stuff like that.
Definitely. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. All those compliments, like, they're going straight to the heart, man.
And all those comments, I guess, you know, we'll take them as constructive criticism.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
all
Don't
it
never
is.
take anything up the ass.
Those,
Just
it's
Suck my
comments,
dick.
comments like those that also help me. You know, probably, I guess I could say, like, instead of being like, you know, he's cringy, he could say, like, you know, he could improve in this way. And I would definitely take that even more to heart rather than, you know, kind of just bashing, you know, because I have people like straight tell me in my face, like, honestly, dude, like, that sucked. Like, what is that? And I'm just like, oh, you know, it's basically what we created. And I asked them, like, how would you rather hear it? How can I improve? And they just don't know what to say. So I'm like, if you don't know how I can improve, then kind of just don't say anything.
It's always
at
the
all.
one thing with that kind of comments, huh? They always say like you can do something else, but they never know what to do.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I find that pretty cool though, like, cause that's something that I'm kind of like I want to get over, you know.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna be like, that's right. Like what the fuck, we don't need another vocalist, you know. Like once we get there and shit, we're gonna be
Yeah.
like, oh, what now, you know, like fuck.
That is
Yeah,
true, huh?
And also, like, you know, it's
That'd be
something we're
badass.
working on together. You know, we're not just gonna be like, oh, you know what, you suck. We're gonna be like, you know what, you can improve in this, and you know, grow as a band, because imagine if we keep changing vocalists, we're never gonna get comfortable with them. It's just gonna be.
It is true, and then what you call it's more or less like the staple, right? You guys aren't exactly, Spookidelics without one or the other. At least this new version of Spookidelics
Yes.
without everyone
Definitely.
in here.
Yeah.
Definitely. So it's
Nice.
nice to hear you guys improve your sound over the year, and I think we're
Yeah.
gonna close it off, right?
Yes.
We are gonna close it off.
All right then.
And then you guys gonna play that juicy juice, right, Juice?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
You've
that
been watching.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what?
Well, I was saying in
Okay.
that case,
Okay.
In that
You guys
case,
wanna
thank
tune
you,
in?
Pop Studios, once again for this lovely room. You've
You-
been watching. I'm
You've
sorry.
been watching Spookidelics, and we'll see you next time.
Later.
Peace.
Check us out on your website.
This one we've already been playing for a while. It's called Superficial.
That harmonic though.